Are we live? I gotta ask. All right, here we go. Here we go, people. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome to Sober Talk. It's good to be here. What a day if you're keeping up with the election. And who you are here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober. Perhaps you're just sober curious. I don't know. I don't care what it is, but I'm glad you're here. So how do you know if you got a drinking problem? It's real simple. If it causes problems. I have, like many of you guys, I quit drinking a lot. I've quit drinking for 3 months. I went 6 months. I went a year. The longest I went 2 years, and I always, I got this. I'm good. I'm cured. I'm okay. Oh, I went 2 years. I could go, and you get caught in a vicious cycle, and you drink until something bad happens again, and you hit that rock bottom, and you're embarrassed, and you're like, oh God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I did that. So you stop drinking, and then you. Here's the deal with me. You being alcohol free is one thing, but being alcohol free and happy, that's another thing. So that's what we try to accomplish here. A lot of people have a problem. They have a hard time jump starting their sobriety. And if you check out sobertalklive.com or check out our private group here, there's a lot of experience, a lot of people, a lot of drunks, and a lot of great people. And they're drunks, they're drug addicts, some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, and they've got it under control. Addiction does not discriminate. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, you could be a musician, a comedian like myself, and it sucks that it is, but it is what it is. So what we're doing, we're living with it. We're living better lives. It's alcoholism, drugs. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of life. I could show you pictures of me even 35 days ago, and I haven't lost a whole lot of weight, but I've lost that booze bloat around my face, and I feel better about it. So, all right, so let's get right to it. It's called Sober Talk because we call people and we talk to them. They email us. If you want to be on the show, it's real simple. Email us, sobertalklive@gmail.com. Sobertalklive@gmail.com. Now, our first guest, her name is Laura. Now, Laura called in while I was in Hilton Head. I live in Louisville and Hilton Head, and sometimes I go do this whole unplug thing from the beach. And I met Laura while I was down there, via email, and she came on. She said, a lot of people don't think about. I work, in one of the top, she works in an emergency room in a hospital, and it's a trauma, for serious accident. Helicopters bring people in. She said, you would not believe the people who come in who they were dead because a drunk driver hit them or something, or they're almost dead because they were drunk and they hit a tree. One family, the guy came in, he heard his wife had been in an accident. His father came, picked him up, and there was he was drunk and he went into the media and hit something. He came in and she had to tell the father that, hey, your wife died. And then 20 minutes later had to tell him, hey, your 6-year-old son died. So all because his dad had drinking. He said, that's my dad. That's my whole family. That's my dad, my wife, and my son all died. So, all right, let's call our first caller. This is Laura. Laura's going to tell us. She's going to share with how the alcohol affects your body. So, thanks for all your good looks. Mine are coming back. I'm very happy about that.
Hello.
Laura, it's Tom Mabe
Hey,
from Sober Talk. How are you?
hi. Good. How are you?
I'm well. I just gave the folks at home a little rundown. You work in a trauma center at an ER in Tampa, and
Yes.
you've seen a lot of just bad wreckage and things. Death,
Mhm.
critical injury caused by alcohol. Uh,
Yes.
but you also you're like a keynote speaker. You go out and you speak with high schools and this and that.
Mhm.
And I asked you, I said, can you talk? If I want to have you back on the show, can you come back on and talk a little bit about what alcohol does to your body? And that's
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
purpose of this call. So go ahead.
It is. And I promise I won't bore anybody and talk for a long time.
Oh, that's okay. I'll cut you off. Trust me. That's Carl.
Okay.
I'm teasing.
Hi guys. I hope everybody's doing well. First of all, I haven't been on in a while, but I've been thinking about you guys. So I hope everybody's doing well.
Awesome.
Um, so basically, before we talk about how it affects the body, I just want to go over what moderate drinking is and heavy
Okay.
alcohol is. So basically, for moderate, drinking up to 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks for men, and that's moderate. Heavy alcohol use is more than 4 drinks in a day by men and 3 drinks for women.
So you're
Now
saying
you're
if I
probably,
have 4 beers a day, that's
uh-huh,
considered heavy drinking?
heavy alcohol abuse, yes,
Oh my gosh! Why? 12 pack was nothing for me a day.
yes.
Gee, that's like extra strength alcoholism.
That puts you into the heavy alcohol use category,
Okay.
according to the National Institute.
Okay.
Um, and the reason why women and men differ as far as their metabolism of alcohol is because women have smaller quantities of what's called dehydrogenase, and basically it's an enzyme in the body that breaks down alcohol. So women have a smaller quantity of that. Men have a larger quantity, which means you metabolize alcohol quicker than a female does.
Okay.
So that is why 4 drinks in a man and every day is heavy alcohol use and 3 drinks for women. You just
Gotcha.
have to think about it as, metabolizing in the body.
Okay.
So that's that. Now, the effects on the body, basically for your brain, of course, you're going to have interruptions, change in your mood and behavior. You can have violence,
Mm.
depression, so
Did you
on.
did you get my journal? Are you reading from my
You're
journal?
laughing. Which probably a lot of people on here have had interruptions in the brain, change of mood and behavior, anger, depression, anxiety. That all goes along with that. Also, stroke. You're getting low blood flow to the brain. So you can possibly have a TIA, which is a mini stroke, or a massive stroke from drinking. So that's basically what affects the brain. For
Okay.
your heart
Yeah, that's my issue.
is
Heart.
the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They, a lot of alcohol will cause cardiomyopathy, which is a big killer
Yeah.
in people. It's stretching and drooping of your heart muscle, which is the most important, organ in your body.
Yep.
So cardiomyopathy is one of the main killers, believe it or not.
From
For
alcoholism.
alcohol. Yes, yes.
And now let me ask you this: did I read somewhere that my cardiomyopathy got and
Hmm.
what that is? You're trying to make up a flight of stairs and you can't. It's like you're a big semi Mack truck with a little four
Right.
pinto engine, like a little tiny engine with this giant truck.
Yes.
And I couldn't make it upstairs. Now that I quit drinking, I noticed
Right.
the stairs are a lot easier. And eventually I'll get jogging again. Well, can you
Right.
can you reverse the alcohol-induced cardiomyopathy?
You know what? I've talked to a lot of cardiologists on this topic,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, once the damage is done, um, the damage is done.
Oh, jeez.
Um, but that doesn't mean that you can't do things that you used to.
Okay.
Of course, you're going to have to limit in the beginning of what you were able to do before. There might be some medications to help. get you back on that. But unfortunately, once the muscle of your heart starts drooping or stretching, it's kind of hard to get that muscle back.
Gotcha.
Um,
But I have noticed a big improvement in my breathing and just cardio
did
work.
you have arrhythmias too? Did
I
they tell you?
it was alcohol induced cardiomyopathy, and that's
Okay,
actually why I quit 2 years, and then my life came
right.
crumbling down with work and COVID and everything, and I came back out,
Yeah,
and just because I forgot how bad, all my offices are up, they're not on the first
right,
floor, and I don't have an
right.
elevator, so no,
Yeah.
all I remember was just cardiomyopathy. That's all I remember.
Do you have high blood pressure?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay,
take
that goes with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
metoprolol I take,
Yes.
and I know I don't need it as much now that I quit drinking,
Right.
and I cut back
Right.
on the
And you'll
salt.
notice that. Yeah.
Mm.
And if you had like an irregular heartbeat, usually that can be corrected.
Okay.
Um, definitely.
I want to
So
apologize for my look, Laura. I know I'm a handsome man, and but if you look on TV right now, I've used from just I trimmed my beard, but not only did I trim my beard, I'm gonna be honest, I used a little bit of Just for Men, and when I say a little bit, I think it was a whole bunch because I look like El Conquistador right now. Like, hello there. I don't know if you're watching this, Laura, but don't get me wrong. I'm a handsome guy. I mean, I look at that guy's cute, but oh my gosh! All right, but I didn't mean to interrupt. I just noticed the beard was just a little
no,
dark, a little dark. So I woke up in a weird mood today. Oh God, I'm old. Just go ahead. Mm. So
uh,
you're a non-drinker, right? You don't drink. You
I
just
am.
that's
Yeah.
and you never
I
drank, did you? What's that like?
nope.
God,
Um,
you're missing out.
everybody says I'm boring at parties, but I think my sarcastic humor um kind of makes up for it. Plus, I get to drive everybody home, so it's like
Oh
driving
yeah,
Uber. It's like a comedy show. It's kind of fun actually to be the sober one. To be honest with you,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I make fun of them all then afterwards. So it's great.
Well, good, good. Yeah. No, no. Trust me. I mean, I've been around. I can be around people drinking easier when
Right.
I'm drinking, but boy, when I'm sober,
Yeah.
I'm like, was I ever this bad? I'm like, oh, you kidding me? Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got kicked out of Waffle House because you stood up and peed on the table. I'm like, no, I didn't. I did not do that. But that's the kind of stuff. But all right. So heart, cardiomyopathy, possible
Yeah.
stroke, alcohol. We're talking. You're just joining us. We're talking about the. What about on the way it ages you and stuff like that? Can it have effect on your look?
Oh my gosh, yes. Skin. Um, I don't know. When you drink, your face is swollen. If
Mm-hmm.
you've ever had that, your fingers are swollen. Your feet can become swollen. Even your legs.
My my
Um,
my my sponsor Gary, he calls
yeah.
on the show a lot. He says he couldn't. He said his feet were his toes were swollen. He couldn't get into his shoes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
And that's the
he showed
problem.
me his picture upon when he was getting he was an intake at some kind of rehab facility. He showed me a picture like I didn't even recognize him. So yeah,
Yeah.
I had that bloat too. Bev calls it the booze bloat.
Yeah. And you get wrinkles sooner.
Mm,
It really ages your skin.
yeah,
Um, dermatologist once told me that she had a lady that drank 4 drinks a day for about 2 years of her life, and then decided to stop. And she said she looked like an 82-year-old woman that walked through the door.
when she
Um,
stopped.
so yeah, well, actually, when she first stopped,
Right, I
and
see. Yeah.
when dermatologist, she said, you believe it or not, she said just by looking at her, I wouldn't have guessed that she was that age. I would have thought she was older,
Right, right.
which is crazy if you think about it, because you're like, whoa, can't affect that.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
crazy.
it causes a lot of bloating. Alcohol does. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And then you have your liver. You get a fatty liver. You can get hepatitis, fibrosis, cirrhosis.
That's a
And
big
your
killer
liver,
too. Cirrhosis of the liver. That's tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And your liver, if you think about it, is the main filter. So you're pumping all that alcohol through the main filter. So there goes your hepatitis and your fibrosis and your cirrhosis. Um, Also, your pancreas. You can get pancreatitis, which is very painful and not fun to have. Um, and that can cause a lot of issues too.
So this is I'm reading a comment here, Laura. It's
Okay.
Caroline Townsend says, "I stopped drinking and smoking when I found out I was pregnant recently. I think I'm
Yeah.
giving those things up for good. A lot of people don't give it up when they get pregnant."
Yeah. I am so proud of her. That's amazing because I've seen people come in to the emergency room drunk as can be, throwing up everything, and they're 4 to 6 months pregnant.
Oh God.
And they don't realize how this baby is going to be born basically with alcohol in its system. And they don't realize this stuff. So I'm so proud of her for doing that. And just please don't pick it up after the baby's born because you've got the breast milk when you're nursing.
Mm,
You don't want that to cross. So I'm proud of her, but keep it up.
yeah.
Keep it up. That's amazing. And congratulations on the little one.
Yeah. That's good
That's
for her.
great.
Uh, uh, so what about what's next? So we touched about the liver, the skin, the heart. What about kidneys? Any kidney is it
Oh,
any
yeah.
so any major
Yeah,
organ alcohol is going to screw up
pretty much. Hmm.
in the way you look.
Yeah.
You know what sucks? It sucks that what made me quit was when I first got in the entertainment industry, and
Right.
I quit drinking. And I noticed that because I was trying to lose weight real quick for a special, and I like, oh, I look good, and I quit. I quit more for my looks than I will cardiomyopathy. Is that crazy?
It, yeah.
It's a very
No,
vain
it's not
person.
crazy. A lot of people think that, and you're not thinking wrong. You're not wrong for thinking that. But I just don't think that people are educated enough about how it affects the inner system too.
Yeah. Carl Martin says
Yeah.
he said he thinks he's drinking 4 beers per hour with severe AUD. Carl, you have to remind me again what AUD means. It's alcohol something disorder. Forget what the U stands for. Um, so yeah, so someone says Caroline says high blood pressure kills the kidneys.
Yep.
Um, this Vita Blue says I quit drinking in 2005 after about 20 years of hardcore drinking every day. Reason I quit:
Well,
3 day hangovers, and I couldn't take the hangovers. I did it on my
no.
own. I have no desire to drink ever again. In fact, the thought of alcohol makes me nauseous. Good for you,
Wow.
Vita Blue. Wow. Huh.
Amazing.
It's freaking awesome. Yeah, because a lot of people can't. This guy here says, I mean, how do you just stop when when life just keeps hitting you over the head? It's unreal. This is
Yeah.
William Ryan Goodman. Go to your doctor. If you have a hard time going, what do you think about people doing like medical detox as opposed to just
Hmm.
doing it on their own? What do you think about that?
I think people are embarrassed to talk to their doctor about medical detox or going to a treatment facility.
Dude, I walk into the doctor holding a beer. I don't care. Hey, I'm a drunk, doc. I don't care. I'm teasing. Go ahead.
A lot of people are scared because of
Hmm.
the stigma that they'll be labeled, for the rest
And
of their life.
well,
Um,
that's why you got to
yeah,
keep. You can lose jobs. You can good luck getting life insurance if you go to
yeah,
if you go to some of you.
yeah,
It's okay to keep it on the down low, but if you
right.
try to quit on your own and I mean you can die if you
You're
drink
good.
a whole lot.
Yeah, I totally recommend doing the medical detox part because one thing, we can make you comfortable
Mm-hmm.
when you're going through the tremors and the withdrawal, and we can give you medications that it's gonna suck. Trust me. I
Okay.
mean, just bluntly, I'm sorry, but it's gonna suck. And if you try to do it at home, you're gonna have to deal with all of that on your own, and it's just not healthy and it's not safe to do that.
So we got
You know,
Randy Leach. I call him Rehab Randy. He says I'm trying to quit drinking, but still I'm almost drinking the same amount that I just mentioned every day.
uh-huh,
He's someone I'm worried that Randy's not going to be with us much longer, as much as he drinks. And I
uh-huh,
forget the reason he didn't want to go to. He at the time we talked to Randy, and
right,
he said that and Michelle's reached out to him, Michelle Hutton. She said that he didn't want to wear a mask. He said, I don't want to go somewhere where I have to wear a mask. And I think that's just an excuse, Randy. I mean, come on, whatever.
Yeah,
Stay in your
yeah.
room. Are you guys making patients wear masks when they're sharing a room with other people?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now our COVID floor is full. So yes, we are taking every precaution, no visitors, and so on. But yeah, you're gonna have to.
Okay, got you. Oh, yeah, he needs to do something. I'm worried about the guy. So, all right, I want to save some of this for another time. Let's see where we did 15, 20. This is great. So, let's take a minute and let's wrap up this segment, and we'll have you on again soon.
Great. Thank you. Bye, guys.
But yeah, so is there anything else that we need to touch on? That I just want to let you know that I need to jump. I got a couple more back to back. Is there anything else that you need to
Um,
mention? Did I cut you
just
off
one,
prematurely?
just one thing
Sure.
is alcohol can definitely affect your immune system, and a lot of people don't think that. Um, but it weakens your immune system, and it's a target for disease. And the main things are pneumonia and tuberculosis. So,
Wow.
right now with COVID, I know people don't want to wear masks. They don't want to really wash their hands. They don't want to take all the precautions, but I'm begging you, please, please do it. It's just a mask.
Okay.
It's not going to kill you. It's just if you're an alcoholic or you've been drinking a lot, your immune system is weaker. So just consider that. That's my big thing tonight. So
No, my best friend is a daily drinker, and he's got COVID. He's in his house, and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
So all right, hey, thank you, Laura. Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. See ya. That's our good friend Laura calling every once in a while with a medical angle here on Sober Talk. Let's get to someone who's overcome alcoholism. We're going to let me see here. This is Chris. What is the physical process that causes the bloating? What?
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Hey, buddy. Hold on one tight. So, hey, how you doing, Chris? Tom, yeah. Glad you recognize the number. Someone just right when I called you, I was reading someone wanted to know what we're talking to a nurse earlier who works on a trauma hospital and deals with a lot of alcoholics. And Joel was asking, what is the physical process that causes the bloating? I wonder if that's just the alcohol. You don't have a clue, do you, Chris, by chance?
No, that's beyond my field.
All right, no worries. I'm just curious. Human body repairs itself in its own fashion when sober. And Ted Watson, while I was watching the other show on Tom Mabe, there was a whole other group of drunks just like us over there. All right, yeah. So I broadcast on Sober Talk and I broadcast on Tom Mabe Comedy as well and I broadcast on Mabe in America because Mabe in America, there's 2 million followers. We got 1,400 followers here. So yeah. Hey, brother. So thanks for taking the call. How long have you been sober?
I was 4 years, August 22nd of this year.
Wow. Were you a big drinker? I mean, obviously. I mean, did you have a real problem with it?
Yeah, I liked the drink a lot. It was more of not daily. It was about every other day because I was hungover and felt like hell from the night before. Otherwise, I would have been a daily drinker.
And would you like blackout drink, or what would you do?
Yeah, I was drinking till I was blacked out, passed out, and that there was no 2 or 3 beers for me. If you see me with 2 or 3, I was drinking till I couldn't drink no more.
Wow.
And I was a very highly functioning alcoholic too. So, like, I'd be able to go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, get up at 6, and then drive an hour and a half to work, run a heavy piece of machinery, and I could be able to do that just fine.
Do you think that you're operating those heavy machinery? You think that you weren't quite up to par because you were so hungover? You ever felt like you were drunk at work?
Yes, because I'd feel kind of drunk until lunchtime. Then once I ate, then that's when the hangover would start. But I never drank on the job, but like there's been times I drove to work still drunk from the night before.
Gotcha. Did you go to jail ever, or did you anything bad? What was your rock bottom?
my rock bottom was I spent after I got a divorce, I spent a year and a half, the next year and a half trying to drink myself to death every night. Well, every time I drank, it started off as fun, and then the demons creep in, and then you know the depression sets in, and you just want it to end, but you don't. I didn't have the balls to end it myself.
So
I
you
just
you were
drink
trying
and
you were committing suicide on the with the installment program. You were slowly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were committing suicide with the installment program.
where like I was drinking on purpose to not wake up, but it would have just been everybody thought it would have been an accident, if that makes sense.
Philip Baldwin says, my friend and I were both told by our general practitioner that we would not last long if we carried on drinking. I stopped. He didn't. I went to his funeral 3 years later. He was 19. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That was a young guy. That was 19 or he was, wow. So yeah, it will kill you. It will kill you. So what happened? When did you decide? Because we got a lot of friends on Sober Talk here that are, some are very excited, some are going to go to detox, going to do the 14 days, one's going to do try to do a 3-month program, try to just totally change the way. When did you decide that, hey, I'm going to stop, and how did you do it?
I decided whenever I couldn't get the job done, and a lot of my problem was depression and letting toxic people determine how I feel. And there's been a long time where I didn't love myself. And I was like, you know what? I've treated my body like hell for however many years. Let me just try and love myself just a little bit and see where that goes. And then that began to snowball into, you know, I can look at myself in the mirror, because there for a lot of years I did not like who I seen in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I was just able to keep rolling with that. And life's not always good. Even, you know, this last week has been hell. But it's a lot better dealing with it now than 5 years ago.
So you said this last week was hell. What, you wanted to drink? Is that the deal?
No, just dealing with life on life's terms.
I hear that. Life on life. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Divorces can be long and drawn out, and this is one of them deals where we've been divorced 5 years, but we have a child together, and things get, you know, it can get ugly, you know, with a 6-year-old through custody battles, and I'm just having to deal with that.
Yeah.
But with dealing with that, you know, I have no desire to drink.
I feel like an
at
idiot.
all.
I hear people say dealing with life on life's terms. What does that mean? I keep on hearing.
Well, it could mean a lot to, you know, each person's kind of different. With me, it's normally I would give whatever the excuse was. I like Colts won, I'd drink. Colts lose, I'd drink. Someone pissed me off, I'd drink. Have a great day at work, I'd drink. But now I got to deal with whatever happens without drinking. You know, I couldn't mow the yard without drinking, you know, 6 or 8 tall boys.
I had this conversation last night with Jennifer. We're talking about cutting grass. Called in the show talking about cutting the grass. Yeah, it took me cut my grass 4 beers. You know, I measured everything in beer. So
right.
My house and church, 2 beers.
Yep. From the 22nd Street exit to my house, that could be 9 beers, you know.
If it's construction, yeah, you could be like 19 beers. So no, that's people say, how far is it here from Hilton Head? About 22 beers, and that sucks. But it's, you know, I'm not joking. It is just, you know, I'm going to Nashville to work this week, and I've driven. I've been down there a couple of times, and it's amazing to do it. That drive without a couple beers in the truck. It's so bad. It's so, dude, I'm a piece of crap. I mean, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that, you know, a lot of people said, why are you, a lot of people question why I do this show. And aren't you worried about doing this show? You're kind of in the public eye and you're doing this freaking, you say, hey, I'm a drunk every night at 8 o'clock. You come on and tell people you're drunk. Yeah, isn't it great? I mean, geez, no, I could be in jail. I could be dead. I could kill someone. I could be, you know, I could have, like that Laura who works in the ER, you know, that dad who killed his daughter-in-law and his grandson and himself drinking, you know.
Right.
So, Yeah, dealing with life on a life term. You can't drink yourself through this. You
No.
can't drink yourself through it, and I get that. And then and look, and even like right now, if I have a bad show, I know I just didn't get them. It wasn't my night. It just, it's not because God did I run the stop sign? Was I drinking too much? That's what we call, running the stop sign when you're drinking before you go on stage. Oh shit, he ran the stop sign. Oh God, this is gonna be interesting. Come here, and watch Mabe get up here and try to do this. And every comic, every creative comedy person I know, pretty much a lot of us are drunks, and it's just the way.
Right.
We get 45 minutes to an hour, 50 minutes on stage, and then we have the rest of the day by ourselves, bored and depressed. But
Mm-hmm.
anywho, so you've been sober. You said almost 4 years, or a little over 4 years.
A little over 4 years.
Okay. And you're dealing, don't you think dealing with your ex and the custody battle, don't you think that's a lot easier now that you're sober?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because now I got a good head on my shoulders, and you can kind of, I guess, I don't want to sound bad, but counterpunch whatever she's throwing at you. There's as long as you keep your side of the street clean, I don't have to worry about nothing. Yeah, she still tries stuff, but I'm good.
Well, here's the deal with sometimes she could be playing chess, and if you're
Mm-hmm.
drunk, you're just playing checkers, dude.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way you can play a decent game of chess going through a legal battle while you're drunk.
Right.
Jeez.
Ain't no way I'd be able to afford it either.
Now you get, when you get to a certain point, you get lawsuit insurance, and that's a real thing, and I've got it. So it's a good thing to have. And a lot of
Right.
times when the other party people, when their lawyers find out that you have, because a lot of times they just want you to just make you out. They want to outspin you, so you finally go, okay, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of lawsuit insurance. Well, cool. Well, man, that's so what? So have you? How long have you been divorced?
5 years now, right about 5 years.
Have you moved on? Have you begun to date anyone?
Oh, I've moved on. I have a awesome girlfriend. She lives here with me.
Does she
She's
drink?
working her-
Does she drink?
No, drinking wasn't her thing,
Okay.
but she's doing a recovery of her own, and
Okay.
she's doing awesome. She has probably close to 18 months now,
Oh, good for her. Good for her.
So-
Yeah, that's great.
and she's been through the ringer, and she's coming out on top of it.
Well, heck, maybe one day we'll have her on the show. She could talk about her deal.
Yeah, I was trying to trade her positions for the night, but she wasn't going to do it.
Well, does any advice? We got a couple people that I see in the group right now who are really serious about jumpstarting the sobriety, like this month. Any advice? Did you do it? Did you do it just with meetings, and did you go to a doctor or anything, or how did you do it?
What got me interested in it was you talked to Big Mike. Mike,
Yeah.
he's listening now,
Mm-hmm.
and he was I think 3 or 4 months more sober than I am, and I have a few other friends that were sober, and they were posting it on Facebook, and they were all happy. And that's something I've never had, so I was like, man, if these guys can do it, I can, because I'm not as bad as these guys, you know what I mean? And which I was. But if somebody else could do it, then why can't I do it? And
So
then
did you white knuckle it? Did you go get some pills or something to help you, get off?
No, I white knuckled. I quit smoking and quit drinking the same night.
I quit
and
I quit rat poison and beer the same day. I'm allergic to rat poison. I'm sorry.
Right. But I went to the first meeting, and then I got my 30-day chip, and then I didn't go get my year chip or anymore, because I did not want to be one of those guys who's basically trading drinking every night for a meeting every night.
Yeah.
And then a year and a half into my sobriety, I hit kind of like a brick wall where it's like, I'm not getting no better.
You're not getting happy.
No.
Were you a dry drunk? Were you a dry drunk? That's what they call that?
No, I was just miserable. I was a single father. I was raising my son and my nephew, which they were like 15 and 16 at the time, or 14 and 15, which, they could be little hellions. And it's just like, I'm doing this by myself, and I got to do something because all three of our personalities are not jiving. So then I was like, I'm going to go to a meeting, and then that's whenever we started up our Thursday one that we have here. And that just, it gave me a breath of fresh air. And it's a lot more help, and then more people to lean on. Because if you tell several people your issues, that becomes their issues, and now they're helping carry it for you. And you're not having to carry the burden all by yourself anymore.
Well, brother, thanks for. I want to wrap it up here in a minute. I got a couple of people I have to call. What else would you like to leave us with?
Meehan spoke on it the other day about Safe Haven Recovery Engagement Center that we're a part of.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Laura saying let's talk about after rehab, and the next caller we're actually going to talk about it, Laura. About so what's Safe Haven? What is that? Tell me about that again.
It's pretty much the first stop to getting help if you need with drugs, alcohol, mental, or anything. And we're going to offer transportation and access to treatment centers. Like if you don't know where to go, we're going to try and help you, point you in the right direction.
Oh,
we're going to have
It's like when you get off the plane and you go up and you ask the ticket lady, where do I go? If someone's trying to get sober or get off drugs, they could go to Safe Haven and you guys can point them in the right direction.
Yep, and we're eventually going to have recovery meetings there, AA and NEA, and people can access resource literature, other recovering addicts, and hope. And we got one in Paoli right now, and we're working on opening up one in West Baden and French Lick area.
Now, is this a facility or is this like a meeting? Just where like you meet on certain nights at a church or something? What is?
We will have meetings.
Okay.
And it's kind of going to be a deal where like we'll end up having get-togethers there. Probably watch football games or basketball games or whatever. Just it's going to be kind of like a clubhouse where people can go and be safe and not have to be out in the bar or restaurants where they might be.
Oh, okay.
Encouraged to kind of drink or use. That's kind of what the goal is, to kind of head in that direction.
Gotcha. Well, that is very cool. Safe Haven, and you'll keep me posted when you guys get a website and a Facebook page and all that stuff.
There is a Facebook page right now. It's the Safe Haven Recovery Engagement.
The Safe Haven Recovery Engagement, or just Safe Haven?
Safe Haven Recovery Engagement Center, I believe.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Someone will email it to me. We'll throw it up on a wall here.
Okay.
Well, that's a great service, and thanks for letting us know about that. Well, brother, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we'll talk with you again very soon.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, so yeah, let's read some of these. Let's read some of these comments. First, we'll read here on the. David for Nancy says, just want to give you an update. I got the email from my son a few days ago. Today he called me 3 times. He is doing very well for being in prison. Thank you for your help. It's been hard dealing with not talking to him, but now he's able to call me. Helps a lot. Just to hear his voice gives me a reason not to drink anymore. Thank you. That's David. David, I want to know, did we ever make it to 5 days? Have we started over? David is not allowed back on the show until he gets 5 days sober under his belt. So, and if he needs, he's going to go to his doctor and talk to the doctor about that, because we're not going to tell him to stop drinking without medical attention, because that's against the law. Okay. Evening, everyone. 21 days, but the election just about ruined that. That's Joel Southwick. Yeah, dude. I woke up this morning thinking I want beer. Trust me. David Gossman, 80 days sober today. Congrats, David. That's awesome. How do y'all? Just got a meeting, and I'm feeling great. Funny how a bad day can be fixed by a meeting. Never left one feeling bad. That's Michael Meehan. Michael's our guest last night. Kat, hello everyone. Hello, Kat. We gotta get Kat on the phone. Is Kat the one with that has the dogs? I'm now a super fan. Yay! Thanks, Kat Landrove. Joe Harris. Hey, folks. Daryl. All right, so that's that over here. Real quick. Let me just check on our other page, because we have comments on both pages. I need to migrate them. You're right, Natalie. I need to do that, but that would be doing the right thing. I don't always do the right thing. I'm a rebel. I'm teasing. So, Caroline Townsend. Hi, Caroline. I have no idea why this alcoholic is in my feed. I have no idea who he is. Brendan Fisher just says, I have no idea why this alcoholic is in my feed. Oh, God, that's rich. That made me laugh so hard. This is some guy. I am a drunk. Yeah, I'm on your feed because someone on your page looked at, they Googled how to stop drinking or something at one point. Philip Baldwin, rather selfish attitude. Why are you bothering listening to this then? Thank you, Philip, for standing up for that. I've quit once a few months ago, and then started drinking beer all the time, it led me to walking down the road and getting hit by a car. It was a big wake up call for me. That's Mike Tweeter. Just because you can't handle alcohol doesn't mean the rest of us can't. Keep your addiction to yourself. Nobody cares. That's Brandon. All right, we're gonna mute Brandon. He's going away. Bye bye, Brandon. Bye bye, Clarice, or Karen, or whatever you want to call him. So let's see here. That God, I needed that laugh. God, I needed that laugh. Carl, I refused to cut my grass for over a month, pouting because I couldn't drink my 4 beers before I started. Truism. Funny how I ended up getting the grass in 15 minutes when sober. There you go. But when drinking, it would take an hour. Jeez, I go clean up the garage for 2 days straight just so I got and sneak beer, Carl. Oh, that's great. The liver is an amazing organ. It regenerates, and you can live with literally 5% function. Oh, wow. So we can all start drinking again. Thanks, Caroline. For those of you who have concerns about fatty liver or cirrhosis, please find a medical provider in gastroenterology that performs a test called FibroScan. Gastroenterology. Okay. Um, let's see here. All right, Philip Baldwin. Sorry, I didn't finish the message. Oh, that was 1993. He was 38, so now me 27 years sober. Okay, Philip Baldwin. All right, guys. So let's go to our next caller. And let's see if there's anyone. Randy Leach. The thought of drinking makes me nauseous every time I pick up a beer. Sometimes I throw up, but after a few drinks and throwing up, I'm fine. Sitting there looking at myself, wondering why I'm doing this. Insanity. That's Randy Leach. He said the thought of drinking a beer makes him nauseous, but if he just keeps on drinking and throws up, he's okay with it. That's how freaking bad this disease is. Disease, allergy, addiction, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Jeez Louise. Caroline says how blood pressure will kill kidneys. And so, and this is one last Vitus. I quit drinking. 20 years of hardcore drinking every day. Reason I quit: 3-day hangovers. Okay, we thought that was Vitus, but that's right. Okay. All right, guys, let's go back and let's go to our next caller. And our next caller is a friend of, his name is Anthony, and he's a friend of Gary's, or an acquaintance of Gary's, my sponsor. And this kid, why does this alcoholic keep showing up on my feed? God, I needed that laugh. That is so. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm calmed down now. I just really, that made me laugh really, really good. Gary, what's up, fam? Hey, Gary Adams. Gary, I may be calling you because your buddy's not picking up. There he is. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Tom
Hey.
Mabe. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just laughing because I was reading the comments and someone said, "Why does this alcoholic keep showing up on my feed?" He's like, it just kind of popped on his feed. And just because you have a drinking problem, keep it to yourself. Some of us people don't have a drinking problem. So, how long you been sober, brother?
About 18 months now.
Oh, wow! Congrats. That's great.
Yeah. It's in a row. If I probably, if I counted up all the times I tried, it'd probably be a lot more than that. But
Let's talk about that. So, did you try a lot to quit drinking on your own, or in the past?
yeah, I have. Yeah.
And how many times and why didn't it work? That was my problem. I quit drinking, and I was able to get a few months under my belt, even 2 years, but I always just did it on my own, never with a sober talk, never with AA, never with a doctor. So you tried multiple times, and then what finally worked for you?
Honestly, I think what finally kind of pushed me over the edge as far as my willingness to do something different with my life was I had finally lost it all. This last time around, I checked in the detox at 137 pounds. I weigh 250 now. I've been living outside for a while. Had burned every bridge, and just was completely hopeless. So that emotional kind of pain that I was in, it was worse than, anything physical I experienced, anything like living outside or anything like that. But just so lonely, man, and just desperately wanting something different. I walked in
to the place that I detoxed at, and they welcomed me with open arms, and I just haven't looked back ever since.
How did you were living outdoors? You're somewhat homeless. How did you pay for your detox?
I had Obamacare, so yeah, Obamacare paid for it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Actually, I didn't have anything when I walked in the doors. The people at JDAC, I think it's called 7 counties now, got me enrolled and took care of all that for me.
Oh no, they'll find you. I was telling people, if you don't have, I don't have the money to go. I don't know. They will find you a scholarship or get you some kind of insurance, temporary insurance or whatever. They want you to get help, and they'll find a way for them to get paid. And that's
I mean, I've been to other places like Isaiah House. They did scholarships for me. So you're absolutely correct. Self-pay is always an option, just like any other kind of hospital bill. They'll just send you a bill in the mail. But yeah.
Yeah, but if they don't think that they'll help you figure it out. What about like after rehab? What does one do? They go to, we had someone ask earlier, I think Jennifer asked, what do you do after, and how long were you in rehab? How long were you in detox?
So I did a 3-day detox, and I moved into the 4th floor of the safety net program of the men's healing place. I lived there for 60 days, and I'm in my early 30s, and I had done that so many times, I was scared to leave, to be honest with you. But somebody pulled me to the side and said, "You got to go," and I ended up going into JDAC's housing program. And
say that JDAC. What's JDAC? What is that?
JDAC it's on.
Is that a company, or is that abbreviation for something? Is it an acronym, or is it short?
It's just JDAC, JADAC. I believe it's called 7 counties now.
Okay, right, 7 counties. I'm familiar with 7 counties. I pass them up all the time. Okay, just for people who are wanting to know, and I just want to have the right information. But go ahead.
Absolutely. And I made a lot of mistakes. I ended up getting kicked out of that halfway house. But really, what I got sober through Alcoholics Anonymous. So just maintaining that relationship with my sponsor, no matter what mistakes I made, what consequences that I faced, and the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous just completely changed my life. So I sponsor men. I have a sponsor. I speak when I'm asked to speak. I do service work. And when you do those kind of things, it has a funny way of keeping where you came from right in front of your face. Like I sponsor men that are fresh off the streets.
Wow.
So it's hard for me to forget that. And so yeah.
So you were at one point 137 pounds, living outdoors, and you checked into a 3-day detox. You went there to the 2nd floor of JDAC or something or somewhere. What was the facility you went to?
I went to JDAC for detox, and then their program called the Men's Safety Net program. They moved me into the 4th floor of the healing place.
Men's Safety Net program, and you were there for 60 days. Someone pulled you to the side, say, "Hey, it's time to go," in a nice way.
Yep.
And then from there, you went to a sober living situation, or no? What did you?
Went to a sober living situation. The last time that I had tried that, I got high.
Okay.
And so that was where that conversation came from. Is why I wanted to stay at the healing place. I just felt like I had gotten to the point where, in order to stay sober, I needed to be locked down somewhere.
Yeah.
And then part of that Men's Safety Net program is JDAC, or 7 counties, as they're called now. They have a housing program. They have houses all over the city. It's typically 4 men in a house. There's no staff, but there's regular drug tests, and you have a certain amount of meetings and other responsibilities that you have to meet throughout the week. And yeah, that's what I did.
So what does one do? You become a drunk, you lose your job, you lose your home, you're pretty much homeless, and you find a rehab or detox to take you for 3 days. How did you eventually start making money?
That's so. Part of that Men's Safety Net program is you have to have a job within that first 60 days before they move you into housing, because you have to come up with rent money.
Okay.
And so I just had to pound the pavement, man, and start showing up at places like Subway and Hole in the Wall restaurants and wherever, Jimmy John's, and just fill out an application, and it ended up working out for me. I got a little $10 an hour getting paid cash under the table job at a local restaurant. And from there, I started making money, moved into housing, and then started going to the library to apply for different positions throughout the city. Ended up getting hired on at General Electric. And then in October of last year, I actually got hired. I work for the city now. I actually work in the mayor's office.
So all this, you went from 137 pounds, being homeless, going into a detox, going into a man facility, the healing place or whatever. Then you got it. There's 60 days. So 60 days plus 3. How long from the moment that before you had a decent job? I'm just one for, and this is so inspirational. This is a success story. You went in.
So my sobriety date is April the 16th. I checked in the detox April the 14th. By October the 7th was my first day in the mayor's office.
So what is it, April, May, June, July, August, September, October? 6 months. 6 months, you turn your freaking life around.
6 months.
You went
6
from
months,
100.
I turned my life around, man. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and experience it. This was really humbling and amazing. I wouldn't trade all the pain that I've experienced while being homeless and getting high and using drugs for anything in the world. I mean, it's put me where I'm at today. I don't think that job at the mayor's office that I have has really had anything to do with really my efforts. It was
it was God's way, huh? God's will.
I think it was God's will. I mean, I really tried my best to make the best decision that I could in any given circumstance every day. And I was honest with my sponsor. And I just prayed my ass off, man. I still do. So all the shit that has happened to me, excuse my language,
That's
I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
All right, no, yeah.
I mean, I'm still doing the same stuff. I mean, if things had worked out the way I wanted them to when I was 30 days sober, I would have really sold myself short. So I'm just so thankful that I'm no longer the architect of my life. And I mean, goodness, man, it's just been an amazing ride.
Well, congrats. So within 6 months, that's great. And it's a decent job too, right? And where do you live now? You have your own place, or you still work some kind of facility?
No, I live in one of these historical mansions that a gentleman named Ben Handy owns. It's a single-family home, and the third floor he renovated into an apartment. So I've got this incredible apartment, man. I can't even believe. Like, I actually got kicked out of housing for, arguably something that maybe I shouldn't have been kicked out for. And I was walking around. I didn't have a car at that point, trying to find a place to live in the rain. And the guy had a for rent sign out. Called him, and I ended up just getting this amazing apartment, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's great, man. Congratulations. So there you go, guys. We have a lot of people who are they're trying to take that first step. They're trying to go to detox. They're trying to figure out what to do after detox. They're trying to figure out that schematic. And if they go to detox, someone there will guide them in the right direction, right? They're just not going to send them out in the street. They're going to figure out what to do next. But they have to be ready to do it. Being a court-appointed detox is a whole lot different than, like, I'm checking myself in. Would you agree when you do it for yourself?
Yeah, well, I would. But, I didn't do it for myself. Honestly, I was sleeping at the waterfront, and I used to sleep all day in the bushes out there on the Great Lawn because I was too ashamed to walk around. I was like covered in abscesses, and I was really sick. And at night I would go over to, I think it's like 7th and Main.
Yeah.
There's a Jimmy John's there, and I would eat the stale bread that they threw away in the garbage can out front. And a friend of mine, honestly I don't even remember who it was, drove past me. They said my name, asked me what I was doing. And, as I'm hunched over a garbage can eating out of it, and they offered me to come stay the night at their house, and then they took me to JDAC the next morning, and I don't even remember who that person was. I don't remember my thought process, but I remember just walking at the door, and the people there looked me in my eyes for the first time in the longest time that I could remember, and treated me like I was a human, and I just stuck around until that changed for me. I didn't really know anything else. I've been drinking and getting high for the last 15 years. I'm 33. So naturally, that's what I wanted to continue to do. But they told me to stick and stay until the miracle happens. And ultimately, if I wanted to get high and use again, that same homeless spot that I was living in, that same bush that I was sleeping in was always going to be there, and I could go back. So I just stuck around, and thank God that I did.
Wow. Jeez Louise. Anthony, that's what an incredible story.
Yeah.
You should have led the Bush thing. That got me. I'm not gonna lie to you. You should have led with that. That would have drugged some people. Wow. Bless your heart. So you go to the Jimmy John's, 7th and Main, and eat the stale bread. You wouldn't go out during the day because you the scabs and whatnot. Is that from shooting up, I guess? Or what?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I had become that guy that I remember in my younger years. You know, I'd be driving around in my new car, and you'd see that big stinky homeless guy that everyone's scared of. They cross the street when they see him coming. That was me, and so I just made a decision to quit going out during the daytime, and yeah, I just was. You know, for the longest time, it took me months to be able to walk down the hallways of Detox and the Healing Place, even walking around the living room of my sober living house, to learn how to look up when I walked. That shame kind of stuck with me. Even when I started my job in October at the mayor's office, I walked in and they would call me Sir and Mr. Giannetti, and it was almost like I didn't deserve it. So it's something that I'm still kind of working on, to be honest with you. It's something that I'll never forget, that pain and that humiliation. Like, I don't have to live it anymore, but just remembering it will never leave me. I will never forget it.
Wow. Man.
Well, I had escaped I felt the need to escape from the hospital after checking in for some abscesses. And so the last several weeks I was walking around downtown Louisville in a hospital gown and gray sweatpants with a huge shit stain in the ass. And so that played a role in why I decided to just come out at night. I didn't have anything else to wear. I was walking around with a huge shit stain. So.
Wow. What kind of drugs? What was your drug of choice? What did you do?
I mean, honestly, like I have.
Garbage can?
I mean, really, anything that'll make me feel different. But, you know, for the last 7 years, it was meth and heroin.
I can't tell you how happy I am that Gary Adams turned me on to you. I got a text from him, so I got a guest for you tonight. His name is Anthony.
Yeah, I'm glad that it worked out. I'd love to speak with you more often, to be honest with you.
No, this is it. Probably never have you on again. No, oh, dude, this is great. People are crying. I'm reading the comments. Freaking our nurse, Laura Michelle, who sees death on a daily basis, is crying. It's such an amazing story. She said, I need you to come speak in Tampa. I'm in tears. What a story. I need you to come speak in Tampa.
I'm born and raised in Sarasota, Florida. It'd be great to come back home to Tampa. I did a lot of running around in Tampa.
I wrote a, you know, my other career, I started out in advertising, or a musician, songwriter, and I wrote a jingle a few years ago. People don't know that I still do jingles. I still do jingles that you hear on TV every single day. And it's like, Toyota of Sarasota, your destination for a great deal. and it's, I don't sing them. I just write them and play the music. But that's awesome. Yeah, I love Siesta Key. I like Siesta Key. And I almost bought a place down there. I went down to Naples. I thought for sure I was going to buy a place down there. And I like it in January and February. It's like 94 degrees there, you know. So,
yeah.
Wow. Well, brother, thank you so much for being on the show. What else? Tell us what else. You date anybody? You got tell us about your personal life.
So, you know, I got into my first relationship in sobriety recently. Learned a lot about myself.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was like essentially waking up from a 30-day long dream. It was probably over before it really started.
Did you take it hard? Were you down in the dumps about it when it ended?
I was down in the dumps about it, and I'm still kind of looking at that to understand why. I really didn't know this person. But, you know, one thing that I learned is I am an alcoholic to the core. And sometimes my first drink, it doesn't always show up in a cup. Sometimes it shows up in the form of a beautiful smile or a compliment or a pocket full of money. And eventually it turns into that, what our book calls that insane thought that overrules all others. So I got drunk. I'm a sucker for a feeling, and I got drunk off that girl, and then quit doing the things that I was supposed to do to keep my emotions and feelings in check. And she got some raw, uncut, alcoholic Anthony, and so lesson learned. Yeah, lesson learned.
Golly.
But yeah,
I want
I
to.
just try to stay busy.
I could sell alcoholic uncut Tom.
Yeah.
I could package it. We could like have like Bartles and James, Tom and Anthony, alcoholic uncut beer. Jeez, I
That would
want
be
to.
great.
When you're making amends and you got to go through and you got to tell everybody what I did wrong and this and that. The amends. Is the ninth? Is it the ninth or 10th step? I don't know. What is it? I haven't gotten there yet. I'm afraid of it. But I'm
Good
going.
night.
The ninth step. I'm going to just take out a radio commercial. Hello, Louisville. Tom Mabe. Just gonna,
Yeah.
and I want to speed it up where I talk really fast because there's be so much damn stuff in there. Oh,
Yeah.
golly. It's funny. I was talking to Jeff Graham today. So, we can look back and laugh at this right now. But during the time it happens, it was so sad and so pitiful. It was really, really bad. So you'll get better about learning how to decipher those feelings. Those you weren't upset with that girl. You were upset with something else, and it was you're transferring your anger from something else. Maybe it was your mom. Toward the girl or something. Who knows? But she got the uncut, a big raw uncut dose of Anthony. I thought that's great. That's great. So Anthony sending tons of support your way from Tampa. There was one comment here. There's a typo in it. I don't know. It was David Vernazzi. It says, "I am God. You are doing well, Anthony." I think that's a typo, David. So, well, brother, thank you so much for being on the show. That's just that's amazing. I'm so happy that Gary turned, and I want to have you back on soon. Want to have you
Great.
back on.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
all right, man. We'll get some rest and good luck with your next. You need stage time in that sober dating. You need some stage time. While I tell comics, I said, you know what, you need more stage time. That's all. And I tell my kids
Yeah.
that. I said, we don't have enough stage time yet. It's your first girlfriend. Don't worry about it. You need more stage time. So, all right, brother. We'll talk with you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you. All right. Wow, that was the price of admission. Well, what a trooper. Dude is awesome for getting his shit together. That's James Evans. One more thing, alcohol increases dopamine, which is an addictive neurotransmitter. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter associated with bipolar mania. However, a deficiency in a dopamine can cause depression. Give yourself time to level out as you go through detox. That's our friend Carolyn Townsend here. So when you're asked to leave detox and you don't think you're ready, it's disheartening. That's Randy Leach. Yeah, he's talking about, yeah. Well, guys, let me do one more thing here. I just want to say hi to my buddy real quick. This is the ritual. I haven't talked to him. I kind of miss him. Let's see what we got here. I love doing this, guy. Thank you so much for letting me come into your house, your cars. Hey, if you go to SoberTalkLive.com, if you want to listen to some podcasts of these shows, we go through and I cut them up a little bit so it's not so long-winded, but SoberTalkLive.com has all kinds of stuff on there. Pictures of me without a shirt. Pretty awesome. Teasing.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Carl, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm hanging in there. I was proud of my Kentuckians today for the Trump vote turnout. I presume we're live.
We are live, so we might not want to talk about that much because a lot of our fans, they love Mr. Biden. They don't agree with your, or my, whatever. We just don't want to talk about it. But hey, so did you get a chance to hear our last caller?
No, I did not, Thomas. I had to move on out of the office there. But
well, man, do me a favor. When it's so great, such a great share. And this kid was just, wow. Within 6 months, he went from being 137 pounds, homeless. He escaped from...
yeah, I heard part of that.
Oh, yeah. God. And as when he opened up, a lot of times people come on the show and it takes them a minute to open up, and that's why we like to have them back on again because they get a little more comfortable, as you know. And wow, it was people were crying. It was such a great share, a great
Now, like,
story.
what, 250 pounds, and
Yeah, yeah, and you
I
know,
keep one life to another life. And
yeah,
man,
yeah,
that did help. I mean, that's every now and then we all need to refire our kindles, I guess.
yeah.
But,
Right. So everything's going good with you?
yeah, man. So I enjoy watching the show and talking to other folks on the private site, and I hope we can get some more members over there.
Yeah, guys, do me a favor. If you're Carl's talking about our private group, just go to Sober Talk Live Facebook page. You're not going to see it on Tom Mabe Comedy. You got to switch over to Sober Talk Live Facebook page and join the private group. And that way you can talk to people any time of the day. You just hop on there, and yeah, it's very cool. So yeah,
Yes, it is. And guys and gals listening, really, it's a place. It feels fairly safe over there. I mean, it is safe.
we had one girl get robbed in the group. Well, brother, I just haven't heard your voice in a minute. I wanted to call and say hi.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I had to check out early tonight and on the way home. But it's yeah, I love hearing these folks call in, especially the new callers that offer hope to all of us, including
Yeah, those success stories. We got a couple, three people I can see on here right now who are getting ready to start their sober journey, if you will, and yeah, it's scary. It's scary. You gotta think, oh God, I gotta quit drinking forever. Those feelings go away. You know, once you get just like you're not drinking today. Don't look at you're not drinking next year. You're not drinking today, and then you do it tomorrow. Tomorrow gets a little easier, and by the third or fourth day, you're like, I got this, and then someone's going to offer you something to drink, or you're going, I'm going to stop by 7-Eleven and get me a 12 pack, and you go, no, I'm going to defend these sober days. There's no way in hell. It took me forever to jumpstart my sobriety. I'm not going to go screw it up by, you know. So when you,
it's a huge deal for the mind of an alcoholic to even begin to think, wait a minute, you mean I'm not going to really drink anymore? You can't look at it as I'm never going to drink forever. You have to look at it, I'm not going to drink today. I might drink tomorrow. That helped me more than anything else. I might drink tomorrow, but I'm not going to drink today. And I got through that one day, and I kept doing that.
and the days got easier, right? The days got easier.
Man, it just became more and more like, wait a minute, this is a pretty cool way to live.
Nice. Nice.
And I know a lot of you that same feeling. I mean, it really change is hard, and we all know that, or many of us know.
Natalie says, I need some more people.
We've been talking about on the private site too. I mean,
yeah, you're talking about the private site here, the Sober Talk private group. Natalie says, I need some more people to post inspiration quotes. We got Carl on the phone. Carl, Natalie, and Bev, and a lot of these people are Darren Hanson. Daryl is we're some of our founding members of the group. So you're talking to some people who have been here since day one. I remember doing this the first day. It's just
and Natalie really posted some really great quotes. I mean, people all ought to just go over and just read some of the quotes and pictures that she posts. They really are good, and they're mind opening, so to speak.
But between me and you, don't you think Natalie's a little crazy? I think we all are. Love you, Natalie. Just teasing. All right, brother. I'm going over. I just haven't talked to you in a while. I didn't know. Hey, we'll get through this. All this stuff going on in our world right now. It's all going to be good. No worries.
I agree 100%. Tom, you have a great night, and everybody else too.
Well, thanks for the tips. It's always good to have you on, and I love the tip. Don't look at next year. Just look at today, and you're not going to drink today. Is that how you said it?
It might be, hey, I can drink tomorrow, but today I'm not going to drink.
Gotcha.
You can not drink today.
On the next day. Yeah.
I can drink tomorrow, but today I get to choose myself not to drink. So
All right, brother. Thank you.
Nevertheless, and therefore, y'all have a great night, pal.
Thanks, Carl. Appreciate you. See ya.
Same here.
So there you go, guys. So thanks for watching Sober Talk Live. What a fun show. We had actually a decent turnout, and the people are coming back and watching the show after it's live, so you can see, 15,000, 35,000 people watching it, and I can look at the analytics, and they're watching the whole show, so it's really cool. Got some good things coming up before too long, and I love you guys so much, man. This is helping me so much. That's why I do it every single night. So, all right, we'll see you. Bye.